Hi guys, so this is going to be like the second book review I've done in like forever, and the second one to be had in 2017. So, I have seen, as will most likely be shown in my last video that I just uploaded like probably 20 seconds ago, closely followed by this one, I saw Beauty and the Beast. And I also read that day, it literally took me yesterday, Saturday, and then Sunday to read it, Beauty and the Beast Lost in a Book. That's like the book that Disney came out with that's supposed to, I'm guessing, flesh out, I think, the story. And it didn't. I gave the book a 3 out of 5 star rating. It's on my Kindle. I don't actually have the physical copy. I'm kind of part Kindle, part not Kindle right now, so it's going to be an interesting thing as of right now. Heck, even some of the books that I have on my bookshelf, I also have on my Kindle, and I'm mostly reading it on my Kindle. But anyway, Beauty and the Beast Lost in the Book, that was on my Kindle. And I got it the day it came out. I just hadn't really read it. Didn't really read it until like now. Because I was reading Way of Kings. And then also Dune. So I have other reading commitments going on, and they're actually big reading projects. Anyway, but I took a break to read Beauty and the Beast Lost in the Book. And it's a very interesting idea, but I felt like the execution would have been better served if it was its own standalone story and not this. Yeah, it was, they were trying too hard to follow the movie that just came out. Like, evidently the author got the script of the movie or pre-screened the movie or whatever, and unfortunately, the result was basically published fan fiction. And while we get a lot of published fan fiction out there, I actually don't read a lot of published fan fiction. I read fan fiction, don't get me wrong. I write fan fiction, I read it, blah, 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 blah. But I am very selective in my fan fiction. Very selective. Like, I'm looking for a good adventurous romp featuring an original character, selective in my fan fiction. I don't typically like reading about things like Beauty and the Beast Lost in a Book, because I feel like it's just a rehash of the same thing. And then also the other issue that's going on with Beauty and the Beast Lost in a Book is that the characters are incredibly out of character. And so, and this is me, I just saw the movie and then I came in and read this book, and it doesn't do the movie justice, and it most certainly doesn't do the Beauty and the Beast story justice. It tried to shoehorn in Greek mythology, and as somebody who writes mythology into her own novels, it was poorly done. Very poorly done. To the point where, like, even it made me feel better about my relatively successful attempts, or at least I feel successful attempts at, like, trying to weave it in to, like, my own, like, personal mythology with, like, mythology that already exists, and weaving it into my own creative thing. I feel like I did a better job of doing that. And I felt like this book definitely shows a what not to do scenario, because it's too vague for what they were trying to do. The story, the background of it, it's too vague for what, that mythology is too vague for what they were trying to pull off. Now, if it had just been a book that she found without any ulterior motives, and she's just allowing herself to fall into this book where the book just kind of takes a lot of her, and the Beast has to work to try and get her back, because this is something that a bookworm of her caliber would fall prey to, I feel like that would have made a better story, and it also would have strengthened their relationship more. You see strengthening of their relationship, but it's like one of those things where I'm just kind of like, why is the Beast even in here? Why? Because he's not really needed. Belle got herself out. And so I'm just kind of like, okay, so why is the Beast in here? Why don't we why are these other characters seem to kind of play this pseudo important role? That's the problem that this story ran into. And it just made me seriously question why I built a relationship with these characters in the real world, when Belle still like her leap to her realizing that she cares about them, it still didn't make sense, because it wasn't rational. Because Belle would technically be, Belle is a very well-read woman who's very emotional, and because she's very emotional, she makes very emotional decisions, and they're not very rational. And I feel like the way this book tried to picture that, it was very unsuccessful, because it just made her look fickle and not somebody who really does feel, have deep-seated feeling. If that makes any sense. It's really hard for me to articulate exactly what the issue is, and I've been sitting on this for over a day. I finished this book yesterday, and I still can't figure it out. I came away from it and just was kind of like, yeah, I'm giving you a 3 out of 5 stars. I was tempted to give it 2, but I went on ahead and said 3, because I did enjoy reading it a little bit, but I'm not going to pick it up again. Like, that's just the fact of the matter. I'm not going to pick it up again. I'm not going to, like, actively go out and seek reading it over and over and over again. As I had with, like, Vampire Academy and Harry Potter and the Mortal Instruments series. Because it's just not that good. At all. Yeah. But anyway, so there's that. And I guess the moral of this story, this review, is be very careful, authors, how you portray things, how you portray your characters, because it doesn't always work the way you want it to. And sometimes you really need to just not either write a Beauty and the Beast book based on the movie, or write your own thing. Please. Because there's fanfiction authors and there's normal authors. And typically, from what I've seen, fanfiction authors, people who are good at writing their own material, do not do very well in fanfiction. Because they always want to do their own thing. And I feel like that's what happened. Is the author tried to do what Disney wanted to do, and also do what the author wanted to do, and it didn't do very well. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's the review. If you want to read it, go on ahead. I'm not gonna, like, say poo-poo it and say never, never, never read it. I mean, it's okay. You can read it. I just didn't enjoy it. If you enjoyed it, that's great. Tell me why. And have a good day. As a reading update really fast, I am reading Dune. I'm about like 42% of the way through, and I kind of went on ahead and put a stop so I can read other things. And that other thing is Wind Witch, which has been out for like 2 months, and I started reading it and I didn't actually finish reading it. I got like 10% of the way through and then I stopped, so I could finish reading Way of Kings. And I'm also picking through Voyager by Diana Gabaldon. I'm like 40% of the way through that one. Hopefully I'll be able to finish that at some point. And what else? I think that's it. For now, I think that's it. I have some other things that and I'm also reading, and I have the hard copy of this one. I'm reading The Iron Worm Affair by Lilith St. Croix. It's very interesting if you're into Sherlock Holmes. I say most certainly give it a try. I'm this far through it already, and I just started reading it this morning. Anyway, so that's where I am right now. I hope you guys have a good day. And if you have anything, any thoughts and about anything concerning the movie that just came out or the book that followed that movie, go on ahead and leave a comment below. Have a good day.